Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Jack King Field. I'm Blake Miller here on the Wren Broadcast Network for Scrimmage number 1, Canes versus Green Wave, an old school rivalry with a brand new head coach for the Canes and Anthony Freight. We welcome you in, as you see, 84 Lumber, the sponsor once again for the pregame show, and we have a lot of new sponsors here tonight that we're going to show you throughout with new commercials, a new title sponsor from Team Wise, the overall title sponsor for the broadcast. And as Austin gives a nice cheers, we've been on a roll lately with sponsors. So if you want to join, of course, $75 commercials, and then there's a couple more spots down the line, instant replay, one of those big ones you can still join in on. But tonight you're going to get the first look here at the brand new Hurricanes offense, defense, coaching staff, head coach. And right now you're going to get to hear from the brand new head coach and Anthony Freight as he talks to the Moving the Chains crew over there. They're on Twitter. You can find them if you search Moving the Chains. And yeah, as I'll send it over to Austin, and he'll let you hear Freight with the guys.
Welcome in to Moving the Chains, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. I'm Kevin Thomas alongside Drell Hendricks. We've got a great interview today, a very special guest, the new head coach of the Wren Hurricanes, Anthony Freight. Coach, how you doing today?
I'm doing really well. Thanks for having me on tonight.
Well, we appreciate your time. We really do. If this is you guys' first time checking us out, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, etc. at Moving Chains, and our website, movingchains.com. That's MOVINCHAINS.com. Our podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, and more. Coach Freight was hired in February. He's been the head coach at Hillcrest for the past 4 seasons, going 26-12. Prior to that, he was the DC at Wren and also spent time at Emerald, Lawrence, Mount Union, North Carolina Wesleyan, Emory and Henry, and Patton High School. How's it been getting over from Hillcrest over now to that Wren program?
It's really been great. First and foremost, I'd like, to thank the opportunity that Dr. Whitfield and Mr. Binnicker gave me. And then, to be honest with you, the support that, Coach Tate gave me as I came over there. He was still the acting athletic director when I got there, and he was in the office next to me, and he did a great job in helping me transition into that position. And he's a stand-up guy, and I wouldn't be where I'm at today, and wouldn't have got the Hillcrest job without him. He gave me a great opportunity about 6-7 years ago, and I appreciate him a lot. So the transition has been smooth, a lot of familiar faces, and it's been nice to be back.
Coach Freight, you detailed it for us a little bit off air, but for our listeners and viewers, talk about your coaching career a little bit. How'd you get started, stops along the way to end up here at Wren?
Yeah, so I grew up in a suburb of Cleveland, Menor High School, the public school, big public school, the biggest school in the state. Actually, my head coach took over my sophomore year. He just got inducted in the Ohio High School Hall of Fame last weekend, Coach Trivisano. So came from good stock there, went on to play at Mount Union College for 5 years, took a red shirt, played 5 years, coach every year, got a GA over at North Carolina Wesleyan with Jack Ginn and, some really good coaches over there. Because of a Mount Union connection, there was a intern that was coaching over at Wesleyan that is now coaching in Georgia that kind of brought me in. And from there, I went to Emory and Henry College. Oddly enough, the guys I was with at North Carolina Wesleyan were all Emory and Henry grads. And the defensive coordinator I played for at Mount Union College took the Emory and Henry head coaching job. So I ended up over there, spent 3 years there. And after that, I was making the big bucks. I was coordinating. I was running the weight room. I think I was working in student affairs and teaching 2 classes. And I think, I was making all that money, like 16.5 or something crazy, just really living large. So I decided to make the big money, get into public education. Went down to North Carolina and got my first quote unquote big boy job. Right. And worked for J.K. Adkins for a year at Patton High School before he moved on. And then Chris Deal came in and that's who I was with my second year. So that was kind of the path that I took before Coach Deal and I went and joined Coach Mack. Coach Mack Mahan was the head coach at Emerald. I think he's got the most wins in Emerald history, and I know he's got the most wins in Freedom High School history. That's also Morganton. So he's a jam-up football coach, and that's kind of how I made it down in South Carolina. I've been there a few years, coordinated my last 2 years at Emerald, and then latched on with Coach Liner. I was with Coach Liner for 3 years, won a region championship in 2016. And there's some goofy things going on in the district. So I just shot an email to Coach Tate and a resume and said, hey, you got a science opening. And 3 days later, we're sitting at, I think it was like Carolina Ale House, and we're sitting down talking, having a meal, and I went and interviewed, and the rest is history. So, during that time, I was building a house in Greenville because I was tired of bouncing around. Obviously, I've been all over the place. So, man, I want to like where I live. So I built a house in Greenville and worked at Wren and got the Hillcrest opportunity. And so here I am now. That's kind of been the quick version of what happened.
Coach, we mentioned you were able to get hired in February, which is, pretty early in the process, really. With that, have you been able to go ahead and get a staff finalized? You have a couple pieces you're still kind of waiting on getting straightened out there. Yeah,
man. There's been some divine intervention, I think, on this one because our staff, I believe, jam up. On the defensive side of the ball, which has kind of been my thing for the last, 15 years, as long as I've been coaching. I'm a defensive guy. And I'm still going to call the defense, but I was able to bring on Jordan Miller, who's the defensive line coach at TL Hanna. And he's phenomenal, does a great job. He'll run our JV program as well. Our linebacker coach is Curtis Cotton. Curtis Cotton was with us at Hillcrest. He was our offensive line coach at Hillcrest, but he'll coach linebackers for us. And he spent 30-odd years coaching big-time high school football in West Texas. So the Odessa Permians and the Midland Lee, he coached at Amarillo High and went to Amarillo High. So that's it. That's the cloth he's cut from. So he's going to be coaching linebackers for us. In the secondary, we got Wendell Rhodes. Wendell Rhodes was the Shrine Bowl running back in the 80s. And then his son, Sid Rhodes, is a South Carolina graduate, is also going to be in the secondary. So we'll have all of us working together there, and I'll be coordinating, kind of floating around so I can also get away and give offense a little bit of love. I was able to bring Coach Perdomo over from Hillcrest, and he's a Wren graduate. So, he's getting to come home and call plays and kind of organize that thing his first time. He's done a great job. So he'll be working with the backs. We were able to get Trey Atkins, a Hillcrest grad that played at USC and then went to Mercer. He's coaching receivers. Philip Price is going to be working with our offensive line. He's a Clemson grad, big-time ball player, has done a great job. And then Zach Pritchett, who's also a Wren grad, wrestled and coached O-line there for years. He'll be working with running backs and JV O-line. So, when you look at our staff, you've got, looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Wren grads, and then some elite experiences there. And I'm really excited at the dynamics of our staff.
So, Coach, going into it without too much detail, because we've been accused of giving away some schematic stuff, what are you going to be running on defense and offense? What's Coach Perdomo going to do there, and what are you going to be doing with your base defense?
Well, defensively, put on the Hillcrest tape. I believe personally right now that most high schools lack the ability to produce 4 true defensive linemen. If I'm being honest with you, as good as we were on defense last year at Hillcrest, we play with 1 defensive lineman, 5 linebackers, and 5 DBs, and we just slashed and got after you. And we've been doing that for the last 3 years over there, or 4 years. And my last year at Wren, we did the same thing, and we did it for a year or 2 at Lawrence too. So we're going to do the same thing, this year. We don't have a ton of big bodies, but we're going to get after you defensively. Now, offensively, we're inputting this new thing that Wren hasn't seen in about 15 years. It's called the tight end. All right. So I know Eli that's up at App State, is a really good tight end in theory, but he was just a big old wide receiver that was physical. And talk about Eli Wilson. I think he's a rising junior now, but in terms of eligibility. But so we've got a couple big bodies that can run and catch and all that stuff. And, so we'll be multiple. but we will be having a tight end this year, which is we're excited about because we got some bodies that do that.
So, Coach, you mentioned earlier you've been all across not only the state but other states, and really the whole country on kind of on the East Coast there. Who are some coaches that have really been big influences on you? And then are there any guys that you like, watching maybe today in the pro or college game, kind of pick up some tricks from here and there?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because Coach Karras that I played for obviously is the biggest one. And that was the land of not reality. It was so, Mount Union College at that time was so not reality. I was part of the 55-game win streak. We played in 2 close games, and the coaching room that I started out in was, Matt Campbell, who's at Iowa State, Jason Candle, who's at Toledo, Vince Karras, who's Toledo's DC, Nick Sirianni, who's the Philadelphia Eagles head coach. Those are all my buddies, Zach Bruni, who's at Wheeling Jesuit. We're all in the same, deal. Tom Manning, who was the OC at Iowa State, and I was at Cincinnati. Joe, and I'm not trying to name drop or anything like that, but those were the guys that, I was lucky enough to be around. And, I got to a point where I think for a lot of us that were in that deal, and I could talk about really successful high school guys too, but you either went and got your G8 Bowling Green, Toledo, Northern Illinois, or you went and became a high school coach. And that was kind of where we went. And I decided to go to the high school route. And there's been a lot of great coaches. My defense coordinator, Don Montgomery, he was a father figure for me. So there's been a lot of great ones. Chris Deal, who, unfortunately passed away, ALS, his son starts at Auburn. Those guys have been amazing for me. Coach Liner, I talk to him all the time. He had a profound impact on me. Even Coach Tate, and I've been lucky to be around. Everybody I've been around has been winners. And it's been nice to be able to pick certain things. Even Coach Tone over at Hannah, I got a great relationship with him. Coach Cab up in Chapman, we talk all the time. So there's a lot of great relationships I've been able to form, and certainly some guys in the upstate that are phenomenal that I really like.
Coach, those are some impressive names. How important is it, networking and continuing those relationships for you to develop your career and then, pass that on to the next generation of coaches and your players?
Well, it's funny you bring that up because I haven't been really involved in the Coaches Association, and Lee Taylor and some of those guys, Coach Farmer, have done a great job as of late promoting that more and more. And a couple of years ago, that clinic in February was kind of a dud. And this past year, man, they did such a good job, and there was such a good turnout. And I kind of looked around. I'm like, man, there's not enough of us that are my age that are doing enough. And that's something I think is really important in order for us to keep this thing rolling. Coach Tone took the 11-on-11 bull by the horns, and he got that squared away for us because, quite frankly, for teams like his, if you can't do an 11-on-11, summer, what are you doing all summer?
Sure.
So we've got some great leadership, around that 40 to 50 or mid 30s to mid 40s range. Coach Hodge has done so much to lead us as an organization, but there's going to come a point in time where those older guys phase out, and we've got to be ready to step up. So I've been trying to get more involved, and Coach Cab is always involved over at Chapman. So I've been kind of following their lead as of late to get more involved. But it is important. You've got to know who these guys are. You got to have relationships. You got to be open-minded. You've got to be willing to have tough conversations. Just talk about am I trying to win a championship, or am I trying to do the kids right? Am I trying, will the championships come? Hopefully they do, but also what's the best situation for the kids? And I think at the end of the day, we got a great group of leaders. Paige Wofford is one, for example, that is always looking to do right by the kids. And as long as we keep that going, we're going to be in a good place in South Carolina.
So, Coach, you guys are already through spring ball, kind of getting into the 7-on-7 season now. Yeah. How does spring practice go for you guys, and how are you guys looking so far here in the summer?
Well, it's been so, obviously 5A football, you got a bajillion kids out there, you got you got 50 some odd C teamers. We would have 115 JV varsity kids. And then, your D teams out there with no helmets, there's 45 of them, 50 of them, sometimes 60 of them. You got to tell 20 to go. And that was that situation, right? And we had kids that would run track and that were good at track. We had the Grand Holidays and all that would run track. And it was great, but it didn't make up the real depth of your team and you could function. Well, now in 3A football, it's a little different. We're talking about like most of our secondary is gone and receivers are gone because they're playing baseball or they're running track. And I want to be clear, that is a good thing. But spring ball was like spring ball light. It was like we didn't have, who we thought were going to be all of our guys. Tyler Morgan was running track. Binnicker was running track, our receiver. A young kid you're going to hear a lot about, Nick Owen, he's running track, triple jump. The Hickerson kid, Seth, he's a triple jumper running track. And then, you go over, we got our left tackles playing baseball, Cooper Sanders, right tackle, and then, Brandon Kirby's playing baseball. So it's a little bit different dynamic. You got to be a little bit more open-minded. You got to be a little bit more holistic. But now we're really getting into it. So spring ball was a little bit, like I said, spring ball light. It was baby steps. It didn't look like it should have been. We went to USC on Tuesday. We dropped a close one to Ridgeview. We got beat by Huff. We got beat by Grimsley, which, by the way, Grimsley's unbelievable. They got two dudes out here and a receiver or quarterback. Wow, they're good. Lost to those two. Lost to Ridgeview with no time left on the clock. Didn't make the playoff. Grimsley and Huff went to the finals, or to the semifinals. Ridgeview played to get in there. We just didn't make it. Saturday after that, on Saturday, we go down to Charleston Southern. Got down there, lost to Crest by 2. Didn't give up any more than 10 points the rest of the day. We beat Greenwood, Fort Dorchester, Goose Creek, Oceanside. We ran the table, won the whole thing. Nice. Our quarterback is a small guy. He can run, he can shifty. He's shifty, but he's starting to throw the ball really well. Parker Beller, tight end, had a great little 7-on-7 camp. So we've got some good pieces there that are coming along. We're really excited about how it's coming together.
If you don't mind, talk about some of those pieces you have now that you've got them all together. Who are some special players that we need to look out for next season?
Yeah, so our quarterback, Colton Bagwell, he's like, I certainly don't want to call him Johnny Manziel because he doesn't have all that baggage. He's like Mr. Do Right, but he's just a short, athletic kid that he's extremely accurate and he can fly. And I think some people are going to have some problems with him in the run game. He's tough as nails. He's got great leadership skills. Our tight end, who's a rising senior, Parker Bell, is coming on the scene. Obviously, Philip Price, our O-line coach, went into Clemson as a tight end, and they got converted to tackle. So he's been able to coach him up phenomenally, and he's coming on strong. Our left tackle, Austin Beers, is probably our best and most seniored offensive lineman. He's phenomenal. We got a tough fight you over a bottle cap running back and Ethan Moody. I mean, this kid's old school. He was over there hanging out with the James Island kids for a little bit before we played him in the championship on Saturday. And one of the coaches said, "Man, that's a bad A white boy right there." I said, "He's tough as nails, man. He's got something too." He said, "Yeah, he's gritty, man. He's gritty. He's tough." I said, "Yeah, he is, and that's just who he is. He's tough, embodies that." Got another young running back in Reese Price, who's really, really good. He's thick, he's solid, strong, explosive. Get out wide. You're talking about Braden Binnicker is our top receiver returning. And, so we've got all that offensively, which is great. And then a young offensive line to match in with Austin, but they're all very talented and in good hands with Philip and Zach. And then defensively, we got Cam Sanders up front. Cam is, about a 6'1", 245-pound kid that on the catapult down at the Palmetto Combine Series ran almost 21 miles an hour. And, he's fast, he's explosive.
Moving.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to hand him the ball at some point. And I don't know what point that is, but he will get the football. And we're going to see if anybody wants a piece of that. And he's just that kind of kid. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. He's a rising junior. Tyron Jackson is probably going to play our zero technique. He's a big, thick, strong kid that can really do a great job with his hands. At linebacker, we're going to be young in terms of experience, but we're still figuring that position out right now by committee. But we've seen some really good things on the defensive secondary out of Brandon Kirby at corner. In fact, the 7-on-7 on Saturday, we had they were trying to hurry up. They got a little 5-yard penalty, backed them up 5. It was 3rd and 8. They try to pick on them, makes a big play to win the game. We get a defensive stop, 2 points. We end up winning by 2. So Brandon's doing a great job for us. Seth Hickerson will play both ways. He'll play a little bit of defense. Noah Ramey's coming on. He's a rising 11th grader. Nick Owens is doing a great job. And then you probably know about the name Morgan. Tyler Morgan is a stud. He's going to have a good junior year. His brothers both play at Wofford. So we've got pieces. We're just you look around, it's like 10th grader, 11th grader, 10th grader, 11th grade, 10th grader, and it's like, all right, well, shoot, they played last year, so they can play this year if they played last year. So it's gonna be exciting.
We mentioned it a couple times that you were hired earlier in the process in February. How helpful was that to be able to get onto campus at Wren right away and get to kind of start knowing these kids and get in the weight room, things like that for you?
It's huge. I think more so than ever, young men, young people in general, lack real relationships. They lack real physical, concrete relationships. High-fiving each other, grabbing them on the shoulder and giving them a squeeze and great job, man, patting them on the back, giving them a hug. You know what I mean? Great job. And being in the building, be able to do some of those things was, it was priceless for me to be able to do that in terms of our team unity. And you got to ease your way into those things, but also the opportunity is there to present itself. All of a sudden, 1 week you don't have anybody in your office. Nobody's in your office. And one kid comes in your office. And then next week, 2-3 kids in your office. Before you know it, they're hanging out in your office. And you got to kick them out. And it's like, guys, you got to get a little work done. You know what I mean? And that's kind of been the process and building those relationships and, having an open line of communication, then supporting them too. Like, I think the community has really done a great job stepping up with fundraising. So like we had the opportunity, I told them I told the community what I wanted to do. And we were able to hop on the charter bus, go down to South Carolina, stay overnight, eat at the Golden Corral, which everybody loves. And we went down to Isle of Palms for a day, nice. Did a workout on the beach. They hung out on the beach. They got to ride waves. They got to play volleyball, took it back to Golden Corral, spent the night, woke up the next day and went to Charleston Southern, watched Friday Night Lights as a team in the team room. The Charleston Southern, got to see a tour of South Carolina's, all those experiences are what I kind of promoted to the community and they stepped up. And I think those things are helping to bond us together, and having the time in the spring to do those things and have some face time has been huge. When we had our spring showcase, we did a ride. Everybody that was a middle school player, we had a official visit. So we gave them a lanyard and a card, and they had their official visit for the spring game. And then the next night, we had all our rising freshmen sign to commit their letter of intent for Wren High School. And then we did a photo shoot with their parents signing their letter of intent. And then on their official visit, we had all the gear, and we did videos for them. And they had the ball, and and it was all blue screened out. And I would have never been able to do those things with my staff and the kids had I not had the opportunity to get over early. I think it's helped a ton.
So you mentioned that Wren community. You guys are very, focused on athletics. Just won the basketball state championship. Knocked off my TR Devil Dogs in Upper State, but we won't talk about that. But how does that kind of put the pressure on you as far as football is concerned, that they set that bar, that you want to try to reach that there while you're the coach?
I think the biggest pressure that a lot of times I feel, I put it on myself. I feel like if we're always doing right by the kids, doing right by the young men, then, the rest will take care of itself. Obviously, after I left in 2018 and 2019, they won the state title. And then they were a volleyball runner-up. They've won 2 track state championships. They've won a volleyball state championship, a girls basketball runner-up, a boys state championship. They've gotten a lot. They've gotten a lot done. And kudos to Coach Tate and the athletic staff there. He is the athletic director to get that done. But I don't necessarily feel pressure to do those things, because I feel like we're giving the kids first and foremost a good experience. Going through high school football, which I think is first and foremost the most important thing.
So you guys have a really tough non-region slate with games against teams like Jefferson out of Georgia, TL Hanna, Burns, Hillcrest, of course. Is that something did you have a hand in that? Was it already kind of planned? And then, if it was your doing, is that kind of a strategy to play some of those bigger boys, get you guys ready for the region schedule?
So the way that it goes is every 2 years there's a realignment. Unfortunately, for some reason, the realignment in Georgia and North Carolina are opposite years as South Carolina, so it never really matches up. But we set our schedules in 2-year stints, so this schedule is already set. We're not going to make any excuses when we go line up against Jefferson or TL Hanna or whoever. We're going to play what we got to play. But I think that from what I've seen, from what I've gotten there to right now, and what I saw last year in terms of when they came and played us at Hillcrest, this is a different group. They're grown up. They got beat around a bunch last year, and they're not really happy with that. So there's going to be a lot more fighting them, I think. They got muscles. They're feeling themselves. They're taking the shirts off, all those things. And I feel really confident about our chances.
Take your financial game to the next level with Founders Federal Credit Union. Reach your full potential. Relax. Join Founders today. Visit an office near you or relaxjoinfounders.com to apply. Federally insured by NCUA, member qualification required.
Perfect, Coach. We'll switch gears and head over to some easier ones. And this is a question I always have to ask. You've been there in that Piedmont Rent area now for a little bit. I need a good restaurant if I'm there to go eat at, or a few of them while we go catch a Hurricanes game.
So Rubens over by Ingalls on 153, that corner 153 and 86, I think that is. Rubens is the place to be, from what I understand now. I personally have not been over there, but that place is pretty darn good from what I hear.
Perfect.
That's one that I know is a slam dunk.
Perfect. So you've coached, like I mentioned, everywhere, college level, high school level, whatever. How did you know that high school was more of a better fit for you than kind of that collegiate level?
Yeah. So it was one of those things where, I think we all value money, right? We all value money.
Yeah.
But I was looking at what that life looks like versus, the amount of money I was going to get and my happiness level. And when you're talking about literally working on, mid-July and not having a day off until, Christmas. And then when you get back in January, because you're having weekend visits, you don't get a day off until June. It was tough. I'm not going to lie. You're working 100, 115-hour weeks, sleeping at the office and all that stuff. And I just never really felt good about just my overall what I wanted to do with my life, just my overall spectrum and vision of what I wanted my life to be. And I think it's been a great decision for me. I don't regret it for 1 minute. It's funny. I talked to Tommy, and like we shared a bedroom that was like the size of what I'm sitting in right now, and then 5 years later, he's making $600,000 a year. And, he goes over to Iowa State, and it's like, yeah, it's sweet. But for, 6 years, his wife was having babies, and he like didn't get to be there and see him. So in anything you do, there's things that you have to decide whether or not you're willing to give them up. And for that level, I just wasn't willing to give them up. And Saturday's a fun day for me now. I get a day off. And then, on Sunday, I got to get back to work.
So let's talk about Saturdays. You played for the historic, D3 powerhouse in Mountain Union, All-American linebacker, won national championships. I think you guys have 13 claimed national championships. What was that experience like, playing for that program in those years there?
Man, from a coaching standpoint, I'll say this, from coaching standpoint, and particularly earlier in my career, it was like the best thing that ever happened and the worst thing that ever happened, because it's not reality. It's like unattainable. If you look at, all the great dynasties, like they won 54 in a row, lost in double overtime at home. Then I came in as a freshman. We won 55 in a row and we lost one. So like they were like 100. They won 109 out of 111 games, right? And that's not reality at most places. I think there's a lot of reasons why it was the way that it was, and why that happened. But that was probably one of the best things and the worst things that could ever happen, if that makes sense. Then you got to put things, when you get a little older, you get a little wise, you start putting things in perspective, like you don't have a bunch of All-American after All-American doing everything right, to where we never even watched like bad film. We didn't like watch people do things wrong. You know what I mean? So like you never even learned how to do it wrong, because nobody was ever screwing up. So that was kind of what that experience was like. I can tell you that it was a close-knit family environment. To a certain extent, it was a little bit cutthroat and intense. You know what I mean? Like, you messed up, you're see ya, you need to be forgotten. It was like, dude, what happened to that dude? Like, he was good, I remember my sophomore year, we had a really good linebacker come in. I think the kid's name was Tucker Allen. Tucker something. Dude had 23 tackles in the state championship game, went to Upper Arlington. Stud linebacker.
Goes through our camp 2 weeks. He's like,
I'm not even getting any burn. I'm getting nothing, right? Because we got our guys already out there. Like week 2 at Ohio State, he's running down on kickoff. Transfers there, walks on. He's running down on kickoff. Like this, just from a numbers standpoint, the competition is so stiff. And my man goes over to Ohio State and like 2-3 weeks he's running down on kickoff. It's like, holy cow, and that doesn't mean that our guys were as good as Ohio State. It just means there were 40 linebackers when I played. So you're right. So it was an experience. It was a neat experience. It's one that certainly I wouldn't be where I'm at today if I didn't get an opportunity to have it.
Well, last one here for you, Coach. What are some goals for the 2023 season for the Wren Hurricanes?
Well, we once I took the job, I kind of started saying something, and it's been sticking with the boys. We talk about how everything affects everything, and you can't leave any stone left unturned. And I don't know if y'all have read that book, Chop Wood, Carry Water, but it comes from that. And everything affects everything. We've got to understand, the difference between winning and losing is so minute, and we all need to work together towards this thing. And I think some realistic expectations for next year is you're going to see a bigger, stronger, faster team. You're going to see a team that, at least in my heart, I believe that we can compete for a region championship next year. And, it's no one's fault but the state of South Carolina. But at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is the region games. And I'm not saying that I don't like our odds in those non-region games. I'm just saying, with a school like us and where we're at, I feel like if we come out of that non-region healthy and we're feeling good, we could be a team to look out for. I'm really excited about some of those matchups. Just because I'm wearing blue and gold now doesn't mean I don't. All of a sudden I forgot about 14-13 down at TL Hill last year. Like that's, that was going to stay with me for a while. Coach Tone knows that. You know what I mean? And I know being on the side of the Hillcrest sideline when we were at Wren, that we went down 14-0, then we went down 21-7, then we went down 28-14, and then we rattled off all those unanswered points to win 48-35. I know what the program can do. We've just got to keep working and grinding so that everybody's on the same page to get it done. So I'm excited about those challenges. And I'll be honest with Burns too. Burns last year, I mean, y'all might have even been at that game. I can't remember.
Yep.
I mean, holy cow, we come out and 24-0. Like, what are we doing? That one's going to stick with me a while. So there's some games there, and whether they go our way or not, for me, I know I'm going to be preparing to make sure that everybody else is prepared to really make sure that we're putting forth our best, our best product on the football field.
Well, this has been great. Definitely everyone to go follow Coach Freight, the Hurricanes program on Twitter and Facebook, etc. They do a great job posting highlight videos and things like that of their players. Definitely go check them out on there. Like I mentioned, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube at Move and Change, our website, moveandchange.com, podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, and more. Moving the Change brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Drill, anything else for Coach Freight before we let him go tonight?
Coach.
Introducing Milewise, exclusively from Allstate. A pay-as-you-go alternative to traditional auto insurance, meaning you only pay for the miles you drive. It's that simple. Who is Milewise for? Retirees or loved ones that don't drive like they used to. People that have company cars and do not drive their car too often. Teenagers or young drivers in your household that barely drive their own car. Families that have multiple cars where one of the cars is usually sitting unused. Or work-from-home individuals or low-mileage commuters that have a short drive to work. Our agency would love to share more with you, so please give us a call today and see if Milewise is a fit for you and a loved one.
Welcome back here in Piedmont. No, everyone that saw my tweet earlier is like, man, Blake said we weren't going to hear his voice. I was talked into it as the Canes look to get underway against the Green Waves. Also, this brand new roster for the Canes going to be a good night tonight to learn some new names, learn some new numbers. And then, of course, the Easley Green Waves. I do not have a roster for tonight, so give me a break on some Green Waves players if you're tuning in as an Easley fan or parent. As you see on the screen, brand new ball coach Anthony Freight, 26-12 record in first 4 seasons at Hillcrest, as he makes his return since the state championship team of 2019. Anthony Acevedo to do the kicking for the Canes this year, returner from a year ago. As football is underway for the first night here in Piedmont. Not probably going to do tackling on kickoff tonight as it is a scrimmage, but going to be fun to see this young Canes team, offense and defense, be able to show their stuff as you see Cam Sanders make the way out there, a key contributor for this Canes defense. Titus Sessions closest to you. And then Tyler Morgan on that back end, Alex McCrary out there at linebacker slash, he's going to play that edge position that Freight likes to run with Shaheem Scotland of old. As the Green Wave look to start their first offensive possession here tonight. Already a flag to start it off. As you see Austin Tripp's brand new flag at the bottom of your screen. Brand new scoreboard as well. Scoreboard mechanics, so we don't have to really touch anything here tonight. It's play number 2 as it'll be 1st and 15 now for the Green Wave. A drop back, hit the sideline. He's tackled almost at the original line of scrimmage for the Canes by number 7, Brandon Kirby, a returner from a year ago. Also back there, Noah Ramey, number 10. Played a little bit a year ago, but this year asked to do a little bit more on that back end, playing safety. Other key returns, Gabe Castillo not out there right now. Tyrone Jackson stands in the middle with Cam Sanders. Also looks like Champ Reeves on that edge as well. So he's a returner from a year ago. Now a first flag against the Canes. That'll make it 2nd down and about 3 or 4. So again, try not to talk your ears off tonight. Don't have a color guy here with me as the Canes defense gets their first drive. If you're just tuning in here after the 6:30 kickoff, pressure up the middle, throw up, caught in the middle of the field, missed tackle, and he's still on his feet, and finally tackled by Alex McCrary down inside the 20-yard line. Right outside of it at the 21 as the Green Wave makes their first big play against this young Canes defense here in quarter number 1. Also, I don't know if we have an update on how long this is going to be, quarters, halves. Snap and handoff. Canes' run defense was something that was a challenge a year ago, but that first tackle from Champ Reeves is a loss. I talked about that with a couple of people. As you see, it's humid, but a breeze. Feels good. But I talked with a couple of people during the offseason. This Canes run defense was a problem a year ago. Anthony Freight comes in here looking to revamp that young defense. They'll have almost 5 guys at the line of scrimmage with a backer and a gap. Fake handoff. Here comes Cam Sanders, and there's a sack for the Canes. Pedro, second in tackles a year ago. That play blown up by Sanders in the middle, though. So 3rd and long as this Canes defense gives up the big play early, instantly responds. Down and distance messing up here early. Can't be perfect. It's working. Big 3rd down here early for the Canes defense. See if they can get off the field. Bad snap. Sanders driving the tackle into the backfield. Throw it up. And a flag on the back end as Ramey and a Green Wave receiver were tangled up in the end zone. So you can hear the wind in my microphone here tonight. Try to turn away and help the ears. See who the flag goes against. Looks like they're asking Canes players. It is pass interference against the Canes. 1st down. So a 3rd down and long, and backing for the Canes gives the Green Waves a 15-yard penalty. Let's see if they change it. It will still be 3rd down and 2. So another opportunity for this defense to get a stop. Sanders stands on the edge. Canes have kind of loaded that box with backers. Snap. He hands it off right side, and the Canes are there. Did they get him in time? They're going to say he's on the ground as Champ Reeves looks to take a jog. And it will be 4th down and half of a yard. It's the first 2 runs for this run defense for the Canes have been a loss of 1 and a gain of a half a yard. Now the Green Waves can use one of their 4th down plays they want to use for the year. The Canes defense put in a situation that you will see throughout the year. Backers standing over each gap. They'll come closer to the line of scrimmage. Snap. He'll read option right side. Alex McCrary makes the tackle, and that's a 4th down stop for the Canes as Alex McCrary, who didn't get a lot of time last year in that secondary, has moved to backer. Big play here early to keep it all tied up at 0, and Austin's telling me to talk about Founders Federal Credit Union. They sponsored the brand new broadcast booth. Also, as you can see in the corner, Team-Wise sponsoring the entire broadcast, being the main title sponsor here tonight. As now we get to see a group of Canes that is pretty much brand spanking new all across the board. Besides a couple factors, Braden Binnicker is the guy to watch, a receiver, Reese Price in the backfield, and Ethan Moody as well. But the quarterback, Colton Bagwell, will get his first year at full reign of quarterback as they hand it off to Price first play for a small gain of 2. That's also going to be a big question mark, because that offensive line returns a couple guys. When you see over there, Lonnie Blasingame started a couple games last year. He's back at guard for the Canes. Austin Beers as well at tackle. Parker Bell, a nice new addition at tight end. He'll block and run some routes. Colton gets a nice pocket, throws it up. Parker Bell, does he have the speed to turn it on? And hello, Freight and Padermo's offense. First drive, Parker Bell says, I'm the tight end in Piedmont. Takes it all the way to the house to make it 6-0. And Anthony Freight said in that interview you heard earlier, he's going to use the tight end. And Parker Bell makes the Green Wave pay. They're in the middle of the field. He also talked about, we haven't really seen one since Eli Wilson. let's be honest, Eli Wilson was not a tight end in high school. He was a really big wide receiver. But a big strike early from Bell. And a nice ball from Colton Bagwell. Acevedo on for the extra point. Snap is very, I was going to say bad. It rolled. But Acevedo puts it in nonetheless, 7-0. We'll let you hear from one of our many sponsors and commercials here tonight as the Canes lead 7-0.
Thank you for considering G-Force for your parking lot project. Each G-Force location is veteran-owned and uses the latest and greatest Graco state-of-the-art equipment with onboard computers and laser technologies for perfect results every time. We hope you'll choose G-Force for all your pavement marking needs.
When you hear funny noises like that,
Jugger, 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 jugger.
Welcome back. As you saw during the commercial break, Preferred Home Services, sponsor and player of the game for the Canes. As you'll see a post-game show, we'll talk about the player of the game, and then if you follow me on Twitter, I'll more than likely post it afterwards. But if you follow any of the main school Twitter accounts, you'll see it, because more than likely they'll retweet my stuff after the fact. As the sun looks like it's coming out behind the clouds, it's a little dark and weary. Not as bad as yesterday. Yesterday, I really thought the world was going to end for a couple seconds. As Acevedo lines it up for kickoff number 2. Again, kickoff's more like going to be no touch or wherever you catch it. And it is. The Kings defense will go back to work. Also, don't know how long some of the starters will go tonight. Scrimmage will probably see some of the depth for the Canes. Not a big roster this year. Probably one of the smallest I've seen in a while. I love how it says undefinedeth and 10. It's pretty fire. That's pretty fire. Green Wave offense had a big play on their first drive, but were stopped on 4th and inches by Alex McCrary on their first drive. Wave snap, throw out, screen. Tyler Morgan's there, can't make the tackle for the Canes, and he's going to break a couple tackles, work his way up towards the first down marker, where he's finally taken out. Looks like Champ Reeves is the first person up. Pedro. Noah Ramey also over there to make the tackle. You can hear me saying the names over and over again. I'm really trying to mesh numbers with names. So the more I say them, the better I'll remember them. As Nick Owen checks in on that outside linebacker / edge spot. 2nd and 4 for the Green Wave. Snap. Misread and finally gets it out there. The Canes collapse, but the Green Wave get a first down as they move up towards the 50. So Green Wave playing short. Screen passes, couple runs. Of course, that big play on drive number 1, but other than that, the Canes defense has done their job. It's like McCrary will switch over to this side and be the edge rusher for the Canes. Snap, fumble. The Canes, can they come up with it? Looks like someone's under the quarterback. See if a ref gives it to him. And it is Canes football, and who comes up with it? It's Champ Reeves. The Canes defense. And that's something Freight prides himself on. These first 2 drives have been perfect. Turnover and a stop on 4th down. Looks like Carson Bryant will be out there at receiver with Braden Binnicker, Parker Bell. Also Grayson Kemp and names that I did not mention on drive number 1. Looks like Reese Price is still in the backfield, but it could be Ethan Moody, and it will be. So he's stopped for a gain of nothing. Talked about it, the moving the chains a little bit earlier, and that is something you don't want to see early, and that's a flag. And Freight also talked about that. Ethan Moody he does not care. He got a little attitude on him. Unsportsmanlike will be on the Canes, and it's on Ethan Moody early. The Canes will thank him whenever he's able to run the rock through some of those gaps. He's got the getaway speed, but maybe a little check-in as Reese Price will take his spot at running back. Should be second and long. They're going to keep backing it up. It is second down and more than 15. I don't know the exact number. 25, there you go. Pass out to the flat. That's going to be number 88 for the Canes. That'll be Ethan Harkness. Also something I talked about a little bit before we went live on air. I would expect it to be a lot of runs and quick passes to get Colton comfortable. Of course, the big play to score early as that snaps over Colton's head. He gets a screen pass away, and Reese Price is hit late, and there's not going to be a flag. The ref, and there's finally a flag because the opposite ref wouldn't throw it. Should be 15 yards and make it a little closer for third down. I don't think it's an automatic first. And it will be a late hit, 15 yards, make it third down a little bit closer. Pretty much cancels out the Ethan Moody flag a couple plays ago. They look like they're making a decision on where the ball was. Now he'll mark it. He took half a step at the beginning, I want to be honest. But that's going to mark it down in Green Wave territory, and that's going to make it third and, a yard maybe? Half a yard? Maybe even a first down. No, it is going to be third and half a yard. So we haven't seen a lot of big runs for the Canes. Need half a yard here from Reese Price and company. We approach 6 minutes here in the first quarter. Canes have scored once. If you're tuning in late, big touchdown from Parker Bell, 60+. Fake handoff. There's what Colton Bagwell can do. He tries to make a move. He'll get the first down nonetheless for the Canes. That's going to be something to watch throughout the year. Colton be able to use his legs a little more often and hopefully designed. Same receiver still out there in Kemp, Bryant, Beneker. Looks like Harkness is in for Bell at tight end. Bagwell takes a snap, hands it off to Price. He has a whole shifty up the middle. And he'll gain 3 or 4 more. Make that 5, second 5. So I told Usher before we went live, I think the question I had was offense over defense. I knew Freight would figure the defense out. First drive, touchdown. Second drive here, driving in Green Wave territory. Snap, he's looking to throw left side, steps up in the pocket. Nice pocket. What a ball from Colton Bagwell. Carson Bryant gets his first touchdown. And any doubts I had before, that throw right there can kind of shut those out of what Ford can do. 13-0 quickly. 2 stops, 2 scores here in scrimmage number 1. as Acevedo will come out for PAT number 2. If there's been any lull spots, it was the first PAT snap. We'll see if that is a little bit better here on number 2. It's a lot better, and the kick is not better. As Acevedo barely gets it over the line, and it's going to stay at 13-0. We'll take one more break. The Canes have struck twice here in quarter number 1.
Like that. It's time to call Preferred Home Services. We'll fix that too. Contact us today to learn more about how we can help you with your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs.
Thanks for calling Preferred. How can we make you smile today?
I'm your overly competitive brother. Check. Psych. And I'm about to steal this game from you, just like I stole Kelly Carter in high school, huh?
You got no game. Dude, that's a foul.
And now you're ready to settle a score. Game over. And if you don't have the right home insurance coverage, well, you can end up paying for all this yourself. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
Thanks, bro.
Take a lap, rookie.
Real mature.
Back here still in quarter number 1, 5 minutes, getting close to 5 minutes here. And again, just me. I know I tweeted out, you're not going to hear a lot of my voice. I'm sorry to anyone that expected that. Ethan said, I looked over, I said, should I talk? Ethan's like, yes. Acevedo is on for kick number 3. Down a little bit deeper inside the 10, caught down where he caught it. But 2 drives for the Canes. I don't know if we have replays pulled up of those. Austin tells me no. But Colton Bagwell with 2 really good balls. A Parker Bell 75-plus yard touchdown, and then a nice ball to Carson Bryant in the back of the middle of the end zone as the Green Wave offense looks to get something rolling. They had a big play on their drive number 1. Canes defense quickly stopped it and got a 4th and short stop from Alex McCrary. As the defense has a lot of new faces on it as well, but a couple key returners. Clap and snap. He's got pressure from behind him. Throws it to the flat. Titus Sessions there for the Canes, and there's a flag at the line of scrimmage. And then Titus Sessions gives me J.C. Horn vibes in that 8. Holding on the Green Wave. So first down and make it 20. As the Canes defense gets a little gift. But that secondary for the Canes should be the best, in my opinion, maybe the best part of this defense. We've seen the pressure, though, today. Cam Sanders, if he can stay healthy. Tyrone Jackson. Champ Reeves has made his impression today with a fumble recovery already. Alex McCrary's been in the backfield. Snap, play called dead. And false start on the Green Waves. Tyrone Jackson gives us a nice clap at the line of scrimmage. And make it first down and 25. Now the Canes secondary kind of back up, but what I was talking about is Titus Sessions, Brandon Kirby on that opposite side. You'll see McCrary drop back in coverage a couple times or 2. And, of course, Mr. Morgan, one of the best DBs in his class, with Noah Ramey back there at safety after losing Trayvon West to Wake Forest. Snap, he's got plenty of time. He's going to go deep, try to test Ramey and Sessions, and Ramey's there for the Canes on the deep ball. So make it second down and the distance between Easley and Wren High School. That would be 25 yards. As it is, I mean, it's no football game packed, but for a scrimmage, there's a good amount of people here to see Anthony Freight's debut on the football field for the Canes. There's high expectations for Freight and company after what he did at Hillcrest and the talent here in Piedmont to do something big. Green Wave's looking for something to get rolling. Play action, he's got pressure, and it looked like it was bad at the line of scrimmage, but it sails over a Green Wave receiver. You can see Anthony Freight's record, 26-12 in his first 4 seasons at Hillcrest. As the Rams, I mean, if you've watched them in the past, that team has been special. He had them at the top of 5A there for a while. 5A, 4A, I don't know which one. 5. I knew I was right. Second guess myself. Undefeated at points. Snap. Fake handoff once again. This Canes defensive line has been in the backfield, and the quarterback takes a hit. Cam Sanders. I don't think you're supposed to hit the quarterback that hard, but he kind of picked him up and let him know what was happening. Cam Sanders and company will be happy as they jog off the field with another 3 and out for the Canes, and they'll get a clap from the Canes faithful. It's good to have 44 back, fully healthy and ready to go. As punt teams are out, short punt, caught by Tyler Morgan in Green Wave territory. That's where the Canes will go to work. Good to see 22 back out there returning punts. Canes offense has been 2 for 2 tonight. See if they can go 3 for 3, which is something that I use the bingo card statement a lot. If you'd have had that on the bingo card pregame, I'd have told you, man, you're losing out. You're not making money tonight. Canes offense has proved me wrong so far. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. Bagwell, Moody returns at running back. Parker Bell returns at tight end. 25, Harrison Williams will be a new receiver closest to you at the bottom. Snap, handoff to Ethan Moody, right side. He doesn't really have any blocks. He'll lose a couple. Looks like Parker Bell kind of got beat outside. His man makes the tackle on the edge. Make it 2nd down and 11. Haven't really got a chance to see this run game get going. Reese Price with a couple 4 or 5 yard runs. Other than that, nothing really going. 3 up top, 1 down low for Bagwell. He'll roll up top, looking to go deep. He has a man in Braden Binnicker. Oh my goodness, he hit him in the hands, but he missed it. Dropped by Deuce. And that connection is going to be big all year long. There is a flag on the Green Waves. I think it's roughing the passer, but what more can you say about 4 so far? As Colton Bagwell hasn't missed yet. That one would have been, I mean, he quite literally, I feel like, could be like 3 for 8 with 3 touchdowns and 150 yards if that is caught. Also not something you should be accustomed to seeing because Deuce does not drop the football. Braden Binnicker is expected to be Mr. Number 1 this year. They'll try it again. 1st down and 10 after the roughing the passer. 2 up top, 2 down low. Moody stands to Bagwell's right. Snap, handoff to Moody up the middle, and the Green Wave defense has been able to sniff out the runs. Offensive line letting each other know, hey, you missed that block. A bigger O-line for the Canes this year, I feel like. At least taller. It'll be 2nd down and 10 once again. Same setup as Moody switches over to the right side. Snap. Bagwell had a nice pocket, rolls out, going to the end zone, throw up ball. Parker Bell looked like he was trying to fight off the defender, thought the ball was going to be a little bit closer to him. Bagwell tried to lead. That'll be 3rd down and 10, but even that ball didn't look off by much. If Parker Bell gets to the corner, that's a touchdown once again. None of these balls have been sailed or short. Bell will switch to the opposite side and be closer to that line. Snap. Bagwell drops it, and he'll be caught and drugged to the ground. There is a flag at the line of scrimmage, though. 4th down. Feels like go for it range. We don't know much about what Freight does on 4th down, as he's been at Hillcrest the last couple of years, but having Jeff Tate as your head football coach, if you're a Canes fan, you're expected to go for it on 4th down most times in enemy territory. Field goal unit will head out there. Anthony Acevedo, he drilled the first one after a bad snap, and the second one just didn't get off the ground. This is a long one. There's no yard markers out there. 33 yards is what Austin came up with. That one's boomed, and it's good. Acevedo says, that last PAT, that's not me. I drilled 33 yarders. 16-0 Canes. We'll be right back on the Wren Broadcast Network.
I would give him 15 out of 10 stars. He'll always be super satisfied with Preferred.
On time and friendly. Very pleased with Preferred. Would highly recommend. Prompt service. Technician was skilled, polite, and efficient with our plumbing issues.
5 stars, thumbs up. We absolutely recommend Preferred Home Services. These guys rock their jobs and are consummate professionals.
Thanks for calling Preferred. How can we make you smile today?
Right back as Ethan zoomed in on offensive line coach, telling them what they're doing wrong. Anthony Acevedo's probably pretty excited after he drilled that one. He's going to get the kickoff here for the Canes once again. We've seen this a lot tonight. 4th one for Acevedo. That one's a boomer inside the 5. That's where the Green Wave will go to work. Nice kick from 19 once again. As the defense rolls back out there, this has been a unit that we've talked about, this offense and how good Colton Bagwell's looked tonight. 44s looked just as good in the middle and on the edge. Alex McCrary's had a stop. Champ Reeves has got a fumble recovery. Titus Sessions and Noah Ramey with a couple pass deflections. Nick Owen right back out there on the edge for the Canes for Champ Reeves, it looks like. As Jacoby Dukes makes his first, he's probably been in there already, but first time I've seen him in there on the inside of the defensive line for the Canes. He's going to be a big name to watch. The Canes are there to stop the run. That's Pedro and Alex McCrary. That's been my most happy factor so far. The Canes have been able to stop the run here in quarter number 1. My defensive line out there right now is one you like to see. As they have Nick Owens out here in coverage, the edge man. Green Wave in shotgun. Snap. Handoff. Canes missed a couple tackles and a big hit. Hello, Noah Ramey. He said, welcome back. The rivalry renewed. This is no love affair. These kids, they may not be old enough to remember how big it was, but it still matters here. There was some back and forth throughout the week. Green Wave still in shotgun. Take snap, drops back to throw. Wide open guy. Oh, what a catch, but he dropped it. almost a one-hander, and Noah Ramey says, I'm right back at you. Big tackle and turns around, gets a big pass deflection. As 10 is making his name noticed here in scrimmage number 1. What I'm noticing is they're not wanting to test Tyler Morgan. No ball has even went close to 22 on the opposite side, as they have almost 3 safeties out there. He comes closer to the line of scrimmage for the Canes, and he instantly makes the tackle, because that's going to be Wesley Reed. Trying to remember the nickname, couldn't get it off the top of my head. Smoke Reed. Started at safety, came down the line of scrimmage, already made a big tackle here. Makes it 3rd down and 12-13. The Canes defense looking to have another 3 and out. Jacoby Dukes, Cam Sanders will switch sides. They'll have 3 down linemen. Ethan O'Brien checked in on that edge, with Pedro standing in the middle, and McCrary kind of backed off the line of scrimmage playing coverage. Snap. He's got pressure right in front of him, steps up, throws it up, and guess who? Noah Ramey's in the area for the Canes once again. 4th down. That pressure was provided by Jacoby Dukes on that opposite side. And here comes the defense off the field. They'll get another round of applause. No points allowed here in quarter number 1. Turnover, couple 3 and outs. And another punt, so we'll see 22 head back onto the field. For tuning in late, Parker Bell has a nice touchdown, 75 plus it felt like. 33-yard field goal from Anthony Acevedo. And then a nice pitch and catch between Colton Bagwell to Carson Bryant. We're at 16-0. So that takes a Green Wave bounce. Morgan will take care of it. As we'll let you hear from another commercial sponsor for the Canes broadcast here in 2023.
Here at Cox & Cole Attorneys at Law, we've got 2 attorneys, West Cox and Lee Cole. We handle real estate matters, closings, and real estate litigation and probate, trying to bring compassion to those that we serve and our client.
Give us a call anytime. Our number is 864-847-9289.
Right back at you. Colton Bagwell's in the backfield with Reese Price. Handoff to 5. He finds a hole, and he's rumbling and tumbling up towards the 1st down marker with a gain of 7 or 8. Reese Price, of course, was the main back a year ago. Harkness in for Bell at tight end. Canes look like they want to go hurry up. Snap, hand right back off to 5. He's got a hole right side, and he fights his way for a 1st down and more. He's up close or on the 45-yard line for the Canes. Once again, Founders Federal Credit Union. 1st down. Also broadcast booth this year in 2023. Bagwell takes a snap, hands off to Price, left side. He trips and falls. Maybe lost 1 there to make it 2nd down 11. Close to the line of scrimmage. You see the new OC at the bottom of your screen, Coach Padermo. Used to coach JV wide receivers when yours truly played. My friends that played wide receiver, special connection with Coach Padermo. Great guy. Bagwell drops back, throws, and it's tipped up and picked. And a big hit, but he's not tackled yet. He'll go down up close to Canes 40, and finally something goes the Green Waves' way. And for the first time, the Canes won't score on offense. Aiden Hickerson checked in for the Canes defensively at linebacker. Champ Reeves also comes back in. So I guess first sour note for this Canes offense. Morgan has kind of moved down to corner. Titus Sessions is out. Kirby up top. And Wesley Reed, no Ramey at safety. Snap. Handoff fumbled. Can the Canes get on it? Looks like the quarterback jumped right back on it. Champ Reeves looking for number 2. That's what's going to be fun to see about this young team is ebbs and flows. When something goes bad, can you bounce back? We're going to see if the defense responds here. 2nd down, 12. And that's going to be the end of quarter number 1. Canes lead 16-0 here in scrimmage number 1.
Congratulations to head coach Amy Godfrey. She was named the SCACA Coach of the Year for all classifications as she won 3A Region 2, the Upper State Championship, the State Championship, and South Carolina Volleyball Coach of the Year. She will be recognized at the annual awards dinner this July. Thanks for watching the Wren Broadcast Network. If you'd like to become a sponsor, email Austin Tripp or Stan Yarborough for more information.
When you hear funny noises like that,
Jugga, 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 jugga.
like that, it's time to call Preferred Home Services.
Whether you've got slow drains or clogged drains, take advantage of our 93 or its free sewer drain clearing special. We'll even include a camera inspection and 1-year no clog guarantee.
Contact us today to learn more about how we can help you with your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs.
Thanks for calling Preferred. How can we make you smile today?
Founders is committed to community involvement within our schools and student athletic programs. And it's a commitment we continue to establish, embody, and embrace for the long haul. Because at Founders Federal Credit Union, we understand how busy your day can be, and worrying about your financial matters shouldn't slow you down. So
right back to the action. Canes defense looking for a stop. 2nd down and 12. Snap. Drop back. Here comes Alex McCrary, and that pressure is the reason that ball was dropped, it felt like. As Levin's made his presence noticed here early as you see Jack King Field. I know y'all can hear everything Austin says. It's not good. A couple of football games at the start up behind us. It's a nice night here in Piedmont. Not too hot, a little breeze. Good to see football's back. 3rd down and 12. 16-0. This Canes defense has been on it all night long, and they keep it up. Snap. No real pressure in the middle. That's a deep ball. They're going to test Brandon Kirby, and that ball's just a little too far. 4th down, 3-and-out stop for the Canes. Let's see if the green wave stays on the field. Looks like the quarterback will jog off, and the Canes do get a stop, it looks like. So it stays at 16-0. Morgan will return back towards the 15. Have a little talk about fair catch signal with the ref back there with him. High snap. And Morgan lets it roll into the end zone for a touchback. The Canes will go to work at 25. Ethan Moody looks like he's right back in the midst of the huddle. But so far tonight, the offense has not been the problem. Run game has started to wake up. Reese Price with a couple big runs last drive, but this is the guy you want to see get going here. 3. If he can get going, not many people can stop him, as he looks to be the starting tailback when the season begins. It's Bagwell. And Moody standing in the backfield. Bell at the line of scrimmage. Handoff to 3. He has a hole left side, and he's instantly swallowed up by a couple of Green Waves for a short gain of 2. Carson Bryant back out there at receiver. Also Grayson Kemp opposite side. Looks like Max Whitfield is in the slot if numbers are correct. Keeper from Colton Bagwell. He looks to make a move, and when he's touched, he's down. A late flag after the tackle. Hands to the face. There's a personal foul against the Canes. Hands to the face. So the first real mistake on this Canes offensive line we've seen, which is a good thing here in the second quarter. Especially in scrimmage number 1, you expect a little bit of sloppiness. Bagwell, as the Canes have backed up all the way to the 10-yard line, second down and 20. Maybe a little bit longer. Trying to get the play relayed in from Padermo. Moody switches left side correction. They have Pod set up top. Bad snap. Bagwell steps up in the pocket. Nice move from 4, and he overshoots Parker Bell, and it's picked. First, honestly, bad ball of the night. Second pick after the tip ball. Earlier in the Canes defense will be put in a situation where the Green Wave are in the red zone looking to score their first points. Couple substitutions. Malachi Orr is checked in on that defensive line. Gabe Castillo in the middle. A name we heard a lot from a year ago. With Jacoby Duke still in on the edge. And Ethan Moody is on defense. And it looks like he may have got an offsides, but it's going to be a false start. He got the right tackle to move. Be honest, I'd be scared if Ethan Moody started running full speed at me as well. So he's checked in at linebacker, 23. Should be Aiden Hickerson's right back out there. It's like DJ Malcolm also in at linebacker. Snap. He'll play action pressure. Hello, Malachi Orr. Into the ball game, sack instantly. Make it second down and forever once again for the Green Wave, as this defense is, every time it's taken the field, instantly backed up the Green Waves. That Green Wave coaching staff on the opposite sideline trying to figure out something to get past this Canes front 3. Bad news for the Green Wave, it's not the same front 3. Aiden Hickerson will stand up at the edge. Gabe Castillo moves. Looks like he moved a little too far, as this drive has been the sloppiest. As Hickerson gives him a love tap, lets him know, hey, we can't be doing that. Not after we just backed him up. So that'll make it second down and say 16. Ref gonna go talk to a coach, and it will be a timeout. Maybe. Maybe not. Everyone's staying on the field. And here comes the offense right back to it. And it won't be offsides. Correction. It's going to be on the green wave, so second down forever. Oh, instant pressure from Jacoby Dukes. Rolls out, has to throw it up. Tipped up. No one's going to get to it. And this defensive front for the Canes has been coming after the quarterback. It felt like Jacoby Dukes came unblocked. And bad news for the Green Waves is 44 is right back in the ball game. That is Cam Sanders. It's like some secondary changes. Brandon Kirby and Titus Sessions is back in. Wesley Reed still out there at safety. Trying to get a number on the other safety. I want to say it was Tyler Morgan. Back in there. Snap. Pressure from the Canes. And it's thrown up. And can't be brought down. Wesley Reed. Looked like he might have got a touch on it. And the Kings defense comes out and gets another stop as the Green Wave started that drive in the red zone. So fourth down and a punt coming once again as Clouds have rolled in. Breeze picks up. Moved the scrimmage to today because there was not supposed to be any rain today. But man, would that be some bad news for us. Snap on the money for the Green Wave. Deep punt. Takes a Green Wave bounce, and it's going to be stopped at the 1 yard line, 2 yard line for the Green Wave. And that looks like that's where the Canes are going to go to work here in quarter number 2. We'll take a quick break here in the Wren Broadcast Network. 16-0 Canes.
On to another win. After all, you've got enough on your plate. Relax. You're with Founders.
I had made a decision that we were going to stay, and Austin was like, no, commercial. And I was like, well, they were fast. I'm right again. They're fast. Offense already right back out there, 16-0, looking for another score. Last 2 drives have been picks. Colton Bagwell, direct snap. He's going to keep it. QB draw. He's touched right there in a flag. Oh, my goodness. Reese Price took a little shove at the end. And flags are flying. A lot of unsportsmanlike flags tonight. Not something you want to see in scrimmage number 1. But most of them have been on the Green Wave, so not much to worry about for the Canes. First down and 10. Up past the 15. Looks like they're at 17, 18 yard line. Price back in at running back. 2 up top, 1 down low. Bell at tight end. Snap, handoff to Price. He has a hole up the middle. Stiff arms a guy and runs through another Green Wave. He's still dragging a couple of green jerseys up towards the 40, 45. And man, welcome back 5. Reese Price has been the tailback to show tonight. Hurry up offense right back to 5. He still gains 2 or 3 as he was hit at the line of scrimmage. As maybe the Canes offensive line kind of waking up here as we hit the second quarter. Bagwell takes a snap, hands it off to Price. He's tackled behind the line of scrimmage instantly by number 12 for Easley. Make it 3rd down and 8. So passing down here for 4. Was on the money the entire first quarter, had a tip pick. And then that last pick just kind of sailed on him over the head of Parker Bell. Puts Harkness in motion, takes a snap. He'll QB draw it. He has a blocker. Will he get it? He's got speed. Can he turn it on? Breaks a tackle. There goes 4. He can do it all. Have yourself a first half in scrimmage number 1, Colton Backwell. As Canes fans are excited, the Canes sideline's excited. Freight talked about it in that interview. People are going to be shocked from what Ford can do. He shows you there, 3rd and 8. You're thinking pass all the way. And he says, I'm going 45 to end zone. The Canes take a 22-0 lead, pending the PAT. Anthony Acevedo right back out there. He's kicked a couple of these. That one's good. He's drilled a 33-yard line as the Canes lead 23-0 after the Colton Bagwell touchdown run here in Piedmont. The cameraman lets us take a look on the man of the night so far. Colton Bagwell's been Mr. Do-It-All. A couple big touchdown passes, a couple drop touchdown passes, and a big touchdown run on that last drive. But everything working tonight, 23-0 here in quarter number 2. Anthony Acevedo's like, can we do this a lot more often? I like kicking off. Kicked off 5 or 6 times already. Refs having a little chit-chat back towards the 5. That's where the green wave will go to work at the 25. This defense trots back out there. Malachi Orr already with a sack. Returns, Gabe Castillo. Ethan O'Brien is 26. Looks like the starters in the secondary are back out there. Rainey, Morgan, Sessions. Wesley Reed will trot out there. 21 is the new checked-in number. That's Ethan Jerebeck. Hopefully I said that right. Jerebeck will be playing the inside part of the field against this outside receiver for the Green Wave. Screen pass thrown outside. Canes are there. Malachi Orr gets out there to make the tackle for a short gain of 2 or 3. And 40's made his impact here in his limited amount of snaps so far here in the second quarter. Jacoby Dukes also returns to that opposite edge. Second down and, let's say, 8, 9, 8. Austin chooses 8. I want you to know there's a fullback lined up in the slot for the Green Wave right now. That's a big boy playing slot receiver. Snap, handoff. Canes are there in the middle, and, man, that's been the surprise of the night. Canes run defense. It's still a gain of 3 or 4, but that makes it 3rd down and about 4 or 5. And this is where the Canes have done their damage, been able to get the quarterback, get after him, make him throw some bad balls. 3rd and 4. Nick Owens checks back in. That Nickel corner, edge. Been rotating in. Alex McCrary has been in there to start the ball game. Ethan Moody right back out there at linebacker. We'll see him play defense when he's not toting the rock. Third down, handoff. Left side, Canes are there, but can they get a tackle on him? And he's driven backwards by Ethan Moody and company. And it's going to make it fourth down. Looks like Aiden Hickerson was also in on that play. So fourth down and inches. We've seen this one tonight. The man that made the play is not out there, and Alex McCrary, but already been put in this situation earlier. Can they do it again? Fourth down and less than, feels like, inches. Here for the Green Wave. No points so far. Kane trying to keep it that way. Snap. Screen pass. Can the Canes get out there? It's tipped out of bounds nonetheless. He heard the footsteps. Tyler Morgan lets him know. He said, I was coming. I was coming. Fourth down stop from 22, and the Canes defense keeps them at 0. And, I mean, we can rave about this defense. I was expecting the defensive playing like this with effort, passion, going to get the quarterback. But this other side of the ball has been a pleasant surprise. 23 points here in the second quarter. Now go back to work. Colton Bagwell's looked near perfect, even with the 2 picks. One was a tip pass. One was on him, a sailed ball. Other than that, perfection. Got a pod set down low. One up top will be number 17 and Grayson Kemp. Looks like Reese Price right back out there at tailback. He's had himself a nice couple runs on the last couple drives. Snap, handoff to 5. And that's what he's been doing tonight. That's dragging Green Waves. He'll gain 6 or 7 on play number 1. Braden Vinegar, good to see him down there blocking for us, running back. Canes have been going hurry up. They'll be slowed down by the official. 2nd down and 4. Price to Bagwell's left, right back to 5. He's trying to get up the middle, not a lot of blocks. He'll get close to the line of scrimmage. Make it 3rd down and less than 1. If you were out here, you wouldn't know it's football weather right now. This early, usually a little bit hotter. Handoff for a first down from Reese Price. Founders Federal Credit Union first down. That's going to be a rough one to say all year long. There's a Green Wave down, not what you want to see. So we'll take a quick break. Be right back here in the Wren Broadcast Network.
When you're ready to own it, our mortgage experts make it happen.
I was done with renting. Founders, they made my first mortgage easy.
We needed mortgage experts.
And more space.
More space?
We were there once.
I didn't even know what PMI was.
We knew.
At Founders, they never charge PMI.
Never.
When it comes to your mortgage, Founders is more equipped than ever, and you'll never see PMI. From first-time buyers to seasoned homeowners, it's nice to work with a lender you can trust.
So you can relax.
Lumber, now hiring Pittsburgh area manager trainees. Apply today and receive an $840 signing bonus.
I would give him 15 out of 10 stars. You'll always be super satisfied with Preferred.
These guys rock their jobs and are consummate professionals.
On time and friendly.
Don't wait. Call Preferred Home Services today to schedule your Precision 21-point HVAC tune-up for just $59.
5 stars, thumbs up. We absolutely recommend Preferred Home Services.
Thanks for calling Preferred. How can we make you smile today?
Back here in Piedmont, Canes offense going back to work, 23-0. Bagwell, he's going to keep it, go up the middle. He's hit instantly at the line of scrimmage for a gain of nothing. Of course, hopefully when we get this year started, we'll have a sideline cam. Zoom in on guys that make big plays, see them come off the field. 3:30 here to go in the second quarter. Kane trying to score again, make it a 30 bomb. He's going to the end zone, has a wide open Braden Binnicker touchdown. The deuce is loose, 29-0. The Canes offense has taken over here in the first half. As 4-2 is going to be a connection you see a lot this year. And it strikes here early. Missed him earlier on the opposite end zone, but finally catches Braden Binnicker wide open at the 5. What a ball from Colton Bagwell. Anthony Acevedo looks to make it 30-0. Kick up. Kick good. 30 zip here in half number 1. It's all Canes here in Piedmont and scrimmage number 1.
I would give him 15 out of 10 stars. He'll always be super satisfied with Preferred.
These guys rock their jobs and are consummate professionals. On time and friendly.
Keep your septic system running smoothly. For a limited time, we're offering septic tank pumping for just $399. Call Preferred Home Services today to take advantage of this offer.
5 stars, thumbs up. We absolutely recommend Preferred Home Services.
Home Services. Go, 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 Preferred.
Once upon a time, moving was stressful and far from a fairy tale.
How are we supposed to move our house and get rid of our junk?
But the big bad move was no match for college hunks hauling junk and moving.
Have no fear, the hunks are here.
College hunks did all the packing, moving, and unpacking for the family. They also hauled away the unwanted clutter to be properly donated and recycled. And the family moved happily ever after. Make moving and junk removal less stressful and more magical.
Back here, rain has started. Light drizzle. Fans are kind of like, nope, not here for that one. A lot of Green Waves got up and said, we're heading back to Pickens County. 30-0 here. The Canes are up against their old arch rivals. A couple new Canes are in. Cam Sanders still in, though. Ethan Jarabek still in at corner. Pressure instantly. And a big hit from Jarabek, and that's where he'll go down. That pressure was brought to you by Ahmed Lewis. Ahmed, I feel like it's Ahmed. Ahmed Lewis. Ahmed Lewis. Yeah. For all the parents, they get mad at me when I mess up names. I try my hardest. You can gladly correct me. Dropped ball, he'll go down instantly. So 3rd down and a little bit longer as this Canes defense is bringing pressure and bringing it fast. If you're a Cane fan, you're impressed. I know Easley hasn't been the best football team in the past, but still a 4A ball club. Got a lot of guys, big guys. And you're dropping 30 on them and holding them to nothing. Only real mistakes have been the 2 picks and a missed PAT. Snap play action. Canes are there. Sanders gets a hand on it. It's over the receiver. And Tyler Morgan may have just let his first pick of the season go through his hands. That's going to make it 4th down. Another punt and another stop from this Canes defense. And they're mad they have to come off the field. They're like, can we keep doing this? Can we keep playing defense? I kind of like this. Which is something you like to see being instilled from a head coach. They want to go get the quarterback. They want to get the football. Snap. Punt. Morgan will make the catch. That's where the Canes will go to work, up 30-0 here at home in scrimmage number 1.
You want your day to be perfect, whether it's your wedding, prom, pageant, or homecoming. Demetra Designs understands. Voted best in the upstate, Demetra Designs is the upstate's largest full-service bridal emporium, featuring top designers for pageant, homecoming, and prom. Offering the selection of a major city retailer, from hair to makeup to photos, Demetra is committed to making all eyes turn when you enter the room. Visit our website right now. Print your instant Demetra formal wear savings coupon. Demetra Designs Bridal Emporium, Pleasantburg Drive, Greenville.
Right back to work, 30-0. Austin's got a bug on his computer. We're trying to figure out how to kill it. Looks like that is not Colton Bagwell, new quarterback. That'll be Shep Winecoop. If I'm not wrong, he's a very good baseball player. Shep Winecoop. If my memory serves me correct, plays on a pretty big travel ball team. So not shocking he can sling the rock around a little bit as well. Because now it looks like the backup guys are getting some work. If we get numbers, I'll relay names. We're under the 2-minute mark here in quarter number 2. Looks like the running back is number 6. I think that is Isaac Wigington, and it is. Isaac, a junior. Couple new wide receivers as well. Max Whitfield. Carson Bryant back out there. Winecoop takes a snap, drops back, looking to throw. He's going to go deep. Middle of the field looking for Carson Bryant, and there's a flag. And it's dropped. I want to say maybe they got Carson Bryant on the offensive pass interference. Mr. White Hat is talking over with the crew. Everything's falling apart. See what the call is. Is pass interference. Looks like we're going to stay right here, though. 3rd down and 9 for Shep Winecoop and the Group 2 Canes. Fourth and 8, correction. Canes for the, feels like the first time tonight, if my memory serves me correct, will punt. The only 2 drives that didn't score was interceptions. But like to get punt work in when you get a chance. If you're a Cane fan, you're like, we had enough punt work last year. I would 100% agree with you. I want to say that's Coach, I want to say Sydney Rhodes that is handling special teams duties. Former Carolina Gamecock. Got another Gamecock on the coaching staff. And Trey Atkins, a receiver, went to Mercer after his Gamecock days and graduated from Hillcrest High School. So that's where he more than likely got to know Anthony Freight last year or the year before, as Freight's been coaching there. And the punt is a booming one. And that's where the Green Wave will go to work. Here in quarter number 2, 1:17 left. Here in half number 1.
I would give him 15 out of 10 stars. You'll always be super satisfied with preferred.
These guys rock their jobs and are consummate professionals. On time and friendly.
Don't wait. Call Preferred Home Services today to schedule your Precision 21-point HVAC tune-up for just $59.
Defense right back to work. Snap, not a lot of pressure. Deep ball is thrown out of bounds, and in coverage for the Canes was Jackson Jerebick. So the Jerebick brothers both playing corner here tonight. Brothers usually works pretty well here at Wren High School. Had a couple good combinations. Morgan's, the Frasers there for a second, as Des Fraser ended up being a really big key in that championship run. The Schuler brothers played at the same time. Trying to get a couple names that are checked in. 33, Ethan Sistron. Snap, tackled instantly. Canes run defensive group number 2, playing just as well. Jacoby Duke still out there. Noah Ramey, Wesley Reed, late flag. Oh. DJ Malcolm also out there for the Canes with Ahmed Lewis. Both coach and the staff letting their voice be heard. As that's going to be, looks like a 15-yarder on the Canes. Automatic first down. Not automatic, but a first down nonetheless. Up into Canes territory at the 48. Back in motion, takes a snap. Canes looking for pressure, don't have it. They're going to throw it deep. He's got a guy, hits him in stride. Touchdown, Green Wave. First touchdown of the night. Flag. And the shutout looks like it will remain intact if that flag is in the Green Wave. What a ball, though. That was a ball. Newly injured White Hat will make the call this time. It looks like it will be on the Canes, or they'll pick it up. 1 of the 2, touchdown Green Wave, nonetheless, 30-6. Here as we get close to the end of the first half. Again, no Green Wave roster, so no names to be mentioned there. The quarterback for the Green Wave delivered a nice deep ball from the 48-yard line, and it was in stride. So first PAT attempt for the Green Wave. Late addition on that line. Snap down. Kick up high. Good. 30-7, the Green Wave strike here to close out half number 1.
I would give him 15 out of 10 stars. You'll always be super satisfied with preferred.
These guys rock their jobs and are consummate professionals. On time and friendly.
Don't wait. Call Preferred Home Services today to schedule your Precision 21-point HVAC tune-up for just $59.
5 stars, thumbs up. We absolutely recommend Preferred Home Services.
Thanks for calling Preferred. How can we make you smile today?
want your day to be perfect, whether it's your wedding, prom, pageant, or homecoming, Demetra Designs understands. Voted best in the upstate, Demetra Designs is the upstate's largest full-service bridal emporium, featuring top designers for pageant, homecoming, and prom, offering the selection of a major city retailer. From hair to makeup to photos, Demetra is committed to making all eyes turn when you enter the room. Visit our website right now. Print your instant Demetra formal wear savings coupon. Demetra Designs Bridal Emporium, Pleasantburg Drive, Greenville.
Shep Wynkoop back in at quarterback with Isaac Wigington. Couple new receivers. As we get numbers, we'll give names as usual. Wynkoop takes snap, hands it off to Wigington up the middle, makes a couple moves. He's tackled, late flag. 28 has no number for the Canes. So that's a new receiver checked in. No name with a number, correction. Max Whitfield still out there. And they'll decide, nope, we don't want to actually throw a flag. We're just doing it for fun. He got bored. 2nd down and 10. Correction, 2nd down and 9. Wigington will rotate to the right side. Wynkoop takes the snap. Handoff to Wigington. He's got blocks. He'll get up close to the 1st down marker. A late toss out of bounds. The Canes fans let him know, and it will be a Founders Federal Credit Union 1st down for the Canes. So first flash of number 6. Wigington's been one of those guys we'll see take kick returns for the Canes every once in a while. Definitely has some speed. Wynkoop takes snap, hands it right back off to 6, looking to make a move. He'll gain 1 and get hit hard where his foot was planted. Make it 2nd down and 9 once again. Grayson Kemp still out there, guy that started at wide receiver tonight. He's still up top, hasn't had a lot of love, and that'll end half number 1 or final. We really don't know up here. It looks like the coaches are gathering players, so it looks like we will have more action down the stretch. Canes 30, Green Wave 7 here on the Wren Broadcast Network.